Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Arabic of the Quran series. Today we'll be doing lesson number 16, Idhaafah with pronouns, plus a lot of practice. Let's begin. So in the previous lesson we learned about pronouns, and I hope you memorized these pronouns by now. By now you should have memorized these pronouns, and we learned that there are two different kind of pronouns, right? The original pronouns and then the attached pronouns. Attached pronouns get attached to a word. So today we'll learn a little bit more about the attached pronouns. We already learned the attached pronouns a little bit, but today we'll learn a little bit more about it. Okay, we'll see how it relates to Idhaafah, the fragment Idhaafah which we just did like 2 lessons ago. That's what we will see, how it relates to Idhaafah. Okay, so now let's begin. And yes, before starting this, I hope you have memorized this entire lesson, this entire chart, because you will need this in the future. Today we'll be learning a little bit more about attached pronouns, and specifically we will see how attached pronouns are a part of Idhaafah, how they can show Idhaafah. So here we have kitabuhu. This is two words, right? Kitab and hu, and they're merged together in one. They're attached because hu is attached, so they're like merged in one word. So if you see this somewhere, for example, you might think this is one word, but because of your knowledge of pronouns, you should easily be able to identify that there is a hu at the end, and so this is an yes, because there's a who at the end, this might be an attached pronoun. Now if it's an attached pronoun, we know that who means huwa. Huwa is he. Now how does attached pronoun translate in English? That's what we'll see. So first, kitab means book, we are clear with that, and who, right now we know it means he. Now one thing I'll tell you about this is Idhaafah is a very simple concept, right? It's before of, after of. So if kitabu matches the ruling of an mudaf and who matches the ruling of a mudaf ilayh, then this too will be Idhaafah, and these two will actually make sense to be Idhaafah, because when we see the meaning, it means his book, and we already know that possessive pronouns will be changed to book of his. That's exactly what we saw here, book of his. So now there's an of, which means this is definitely a Idhaafah. This fragment is Idhaafah. So kitabu, does it match? Let's check. Kitabu, does it match mudaf? Well, first of all, it's light, it's not un sound, and it is having no al. Till now, so far so good. Now who, in the previous lesson we discussed that who can be, who is an attached pronoun, and attached pronouns are either nasab or jar. And we have a very important rule. What's the rule? That if something can be something, and there's a very good reason that it should be that thing, then it is that thing. So if this can be jar, and there's a very good reason, like this can, what's the good reason? That this might be mudaf ilayh. So that's a good reason. So this can be jar, and there's a good reason that this could be jar, so therefore this is jar. So kitabuhu, mudaf ilayh, his book. And even in the meaning it makes sense. In the meaning he becomes his. He is like possessive. Attached pronouns are mostly possessive. So his book. And now we see that kitabuhu, they match the mudaf and mudaf ilayh. So now from this, what do we learn? One important lesson. Just because there is no space between the word doesn't mean that there are no two words in it. This is actually two words that are just merged into one, and they actually form a fragment. But a normal, not very Arabic knowing person will not understand that. They'll think there's one word. But from now on, I expect you to understand that this is not one word, it is two words, and it is a fragment on its own. Now let's look at this one. Qalamuha. Again, qalamuha. So qalamu, we know very clearly, pen. Ha is from where? Here, right? She. But when we translate it to possessive, it becomes her. So pen, her pen. That's how it is. Her pen, or pen of hers. And then this is obviously going to be mudaf, and this will be mudaf ilayh. So that's the concept. That's the only concept. How attached pronouns can be mudaf ilayh. That's basically it. How attached pronouns play a role in Idhaafah. Because remember, now we are learning about fragments, right? The 5 type of fragments. The first type is Idhaafah. So why I took this slight tangent into pronouns is because I wanted to see that pronouns also play a role in Idhaafah, especially when they are attached pronouns. When the independent pronouns, they don't play a role usually, but when they are attached pronouns, they play a role, and this role we should know by now. So her pen, pen of hers, we know very clearly which one is mudaf and which one is mudaf ilayh. Over here too, baytuhum, whom, what does it mean? They. But when it's possessive, because attached means possessive, right? Now we know that attached means possessive. So their, so baytuhum, their house. You can just see the meaning here. Their house, house of theirs. So house is mudaf, which means baytu is mudaf, and theirs is mudaf ilay, which means whom is mudaf ilay. And they match the conditions for mudaf and mudaf ilay. So now we understood one new concept. This is the only new concept today. We are not learning anything new today. You already knew what attached pronouns are, but this is just one aspect of attached pronouns that I needed you to know. If the attached pronouns are attached to an ism, then they will be possessive and it will be in mudaf mudaf ilay. And they play like that they play a role in Idhaafah. That's it. We are done with new concepts. Now it's just practice, practice, practice. And listen to it on mute. From here on, do it on mute and try to do it on your own before me. Alright, so this is basically what I told you. It's just in written form so you can refer to it. And we'll go through it once. If the attached pronoun is attached to an ism, then the ism is mudaf and the attached pronoun is mudaf ilay. Here, come to the example. Fulku is an ism. Fulku is an ism. Ship is a thing, is an ism. Na is an attached pronoun. So if the attached pronoun is attached to an ism, Fulku ism, na attached pronoun. And na is attached to fulku. Then the ism, by the way, what is the na attached pronoun of? Nahnu. Yes, it is an attached version of nahnu. So then the ism is mudaf. So fulku is mudaf. Okay? Fulku is mudaf and the attached pronoun is mudaf ilay. Na is mudaf ilay. We know this. We learned this just now. So our ship, ship of ours. Okay? Our ship, ship of ours. Mudaf ilay is always jar. What is mudaf ilay? Always jar. We know this. Attached pronouns that are attached to an ism are jar. Okay, why? Why are attached pronouns that are attached to an ism jar? Because whenever we attach an attached pronoun to an ism, okay, whenever we join an attached pronoun to an ism, then it will always become possessive, you know, like our, their, his, her, like possessive pronoun. So if it's possessive pronoun, we know that it will become mudaf ilay. So that's why, and mudaf ilay is always jar. That's why attached pronouns that are attached to an ism are jar, because ism will make it possessive. His pen or her pen or our ship. Possessive, you know the meaning of possessive, right? Their things, our things, that's possessive. So attached pronouns that are attached to an ism are jar because they are mudaf ilay, and they become mudaf ilay because they become possessive when they are attached to an ism only. Okay, so this is clear. We are done with this. Now let's move on to practice and listen to this one is mute. You should be able to do it yourself. So now we know about pronouns. Now we will apply them and we will actually classify the pronouns. But before we start, I want to tell you one thing. What we will do here is we'll single out the pronouns and we will tell what it's originally from, and on top of that we'll tell its status, number, gender and type. Now remember, these are pronouns, so we know that all pronouns are proper, so we will not actually care about type because we should know that all pronouns are anyway proper, so we'll leave the type aside. Also in this one I've only included attached pronouns, and from the previous lesson you know that attached pronouns can be nasab or jar, so every single one of this is nasab or jar. Why did I only put attached pronouns? Because attached pronouns are much more harder to find than or in independent pronouns. For example, if you see huwa sadiqi, huwa sadiqun, then you will know that this one word does one word. But if you see sahibaha, you might not really guess that there's actually two words because they're merged into one. There's no space between them. Huwa sadiqun has space, but sahibaha doesn't have space. So that's why in this exercise I only used attached pronouns so that you get more exposure to them, and they are honestly the harder version. They are honestly the harder version to find, right? So only attached pronouns are here. So attached pronouns are every one of this will be, it can be either nasab or jar, right? So we will not care about the status and type because you should automatically know every single one of this status and type. Now what we will focus on is something that keeps on changing, that can change, which is number and gender, and we know that this depends upon the meaning. So now let's begin. What we will do, we'll single out the pronouns and we'll single out the number and gender, and status and type you will already know, you should already know. So now let's start. Sahibaha. Sahibaha, the first one, ha is obviously the attached. the attached pronoun, and where is ha from, because the meaning tells you everything. So where is ha from? It's from here, and here is what? Here is one, which means singular, and feminine, she, right? She is what? One, feminine. Next, ni'mati. This is what many people don't get. Ni'mati. This is actually having an attached pronoun. And what is the attached pronoun? It is ye. And what is the e from? It's from ana. Remember, e or ni, ye or ni, that is ni'mati. Over here there's like my, ana, I, ni, e, my. It becomes possessive, right? So my favors. You don't need to know the meaning, just know that this is, you need to just be able to recognize it, because this is hard. Many people don't get this. So ni'mati, my something. Okay, my. So there's I here, and I mean there's ana here. So what will the number gender be? Ana is obviously singular, and what will its number and gender be? Ana is singular, and its number gender, it can be both. Ana can refer to what? Masculine, and ana can refer to a feminine person. So it's both masculine and feminine. Next, rabbukum. Rabbukum. Kum, right? Kum is the attached pronoun. And what is kum attached pronoun of? Antum. So what is antum? It's plural, which means three or more than three, and it is masculine. Antum is plural and masculine. Next, ghurfatuhuma. Ghurfatuhuma. This is actually really obvious. It's very easy. The attached pronoun and the original pronoun are very same. So it's huma. It's not much difficult. So huma. Next, and what will this be? This will be dual, right? It will be dual, and it can be masculine and feminine, because huma and huma are same, right? So this can be masculine or feminine. We don't know who is referring to. أعمالها أعمالهما أعمالهما. Okay, أعمالهما. Again, huma, hima, they're the same thing. Huma, hima. They're just there for easiness of pronunciation, that's it. Like أعمالهما, it might be difficult, so Arabs made it أعمالهما. So now أعمالهما is what? Again the same thing. It's dual, and it's both. It can be both. Next, abdahu. Abdahu. What is this? Abdahu. So who is from huwa. And what is huwa? Huwa is masculine. Okay, huwa is masculine, and it is singular. So one, masculine. It's singular and it's masculine. Now let's move on to the next one. Ainaha. Ainaha. This is actually really good. You can actually see the ha here, and obviously it's the ha. It's separated because alif doesn't take any letter, that isn't joined with any letter after it, and it is ha, and that is again one feminine. You know this. Here one feminine, she one feminine. Rabbuna. Rabbuna. What is it here? Come on, think quickly. Rabbuna. Yes, it is na. And what is na the attached version of? No, it's not attached version of ana. It's attached version of nahnu. And nahnu is, well, nahnu has an interesting case. It can be 3 or 2, and it can be both masculine and feminine, right? So nahnu. That's what this is. This can be 3 or 4, I mean 2 or 3, which means it can be dual or plural, and it can be masculine or feminine. We don't know what it is. Next, rizquka. Rizquka. What is it? Yes, it's ka. Rizquka, ka. If you memorize the pronoun list, this should be easy for you. And where is ka from? Where is ka from? Anta. Anta is what? You. Masculine. The name only told you means one, and masculine, right? You means singular and masculine. Next, madrasatihinna. Madrasatihinna. Hinna. Where is hinna from? Hinna is obviously from hunna, and hunna is what? Hunna is plural feminine. That's what hunna is, right? Plural feminine. Next, sayyaratihim. Sayyaratihim. Him. Where is him from? You should know. Whom. Yes, him is from whom. And then what does whom mean? They, masculine. So that they, which means three, and it's masculine. Next, qalbukum. Kum. Kum is the, you should get faster at this. This is really easy. Kum is the attached pronoun. And kum is from antum. And we know antum means three and masculine. Right? You masculine. That's what antum means, right? So now let's move on to the next one. Waladihima. Pretty obvious. I think you already know by now what it is. Hima comes from where? It comes from huma, and that's two and masculine, which means dual masculine. By the way, if I'm going too fast and you want to slow down a bit, you can always pause it and then do it on your own and then check the answers. Okay, that's also a possibility. Whatever works for you, just do it. Next, nasabi. You should get this by now. What is the ism? I mean, what is the attached pronoun? Why is it the attached pronoun? What is the attached pronoun of? Because ana is the hardest. Many people have a hard time with it. I don't know why. I find it easy, but many people don't. So, you know, a bit of, I think, practice, just seeing this in words will make it easier for you. You know. Anyway, nasabi, it is ana, obviously. E and ni. Remember, ana is e and ni, which means it's singular because ana means I. So singular, and it can be I masculine or I feminine. So both. Ardiki. Ardiki. What is ardiki? Ardiki. Yep. It's ki. Anti, so you feminine. You know the reasoning, right? Anti, ki is from anti. Anti is you feminine, so singular, feminine. Kalimatuhum. Kalimatuhum. Hum. It's obvious. I mean, it just gives it away. Hum is obvious. And hum is what? They, masculine. So three, which means plural, and masculine. Next, halfikum. Halfikum. What is the attached pronoun? Kum. Why is it attached pronoun? Because it's the attached version of antum. So what is the attached pronoun? Kum. This is the attached pronoun. And what does it mean? Antum. Antum, what does antum mean? Plural. So three, and then masculine. Plural masculine. You all. No, yeah, you all masculine. Jaddatuna. Jaddatuna. What is it? Jaddatuna. It is na. What is it of? What is it the attached version of? It is the attached version of nahnu, which can be two or three. Nahnu can be two or three, and it is both, which means it can be masculine or feminine. The person speaking, the people speaking actually, they can be both masculine or feminine, and they can be more than three people, and three people, which means plural, or they can be dual, which means two people. So hajjaddatuna. Okay, now we are done. Now we'll go to the next slide. This is actually pretty simple. I hope you find the concept easy. You just have to memorize the list, and you can literally see pronouns everywhere. So let's move on to the next one. Ummiki. Ummiki. Listen one thing. Listen, I always tell this. The answer is not important. The reasoning is more important, because you will be reasoning it out many other words from the Quran actually. Many other words from the Quran you'll be reasoning it out. So the reasoning is very important. So forget the answer. Just make sure you get the reasoning right. Okay. So ki. Ki is the attached version of what? Ki is the attached version of anti. And what is anti? It is singular because you, only you, and feminine because anti, you feminine. You know that. You know meanings, right? Azwaji kunna. Kunna. That's the attached version. Azwaji kunna, attached version. Again, if you're finding that I'm going a bit too fast, then you can pause the video. Before I give the answer, just pause the video, do your own process, and come back and check if you're right. So this is just 3 feminine. Hunna, sorry. See, even I can make mistakes. Kunna is antunna. Okay, kunna is from antunna, which means you all, feminine. So plural, feminine. Maw'idatukunna. Maw'idatukunna. So again I make a mistake. Maw'idatukuma. Maw'idatukuma. So it's a big word, might be daunting, but it's actually pretty simple. Maw'idatukuma. Okay, Maw'idatukuma. So what is the attached version? Just focus on the attached version. Forget the meaning, forget the bigness of the word, just focus on the attached version. So the attached version is kuma. And what is the kuma? What is the attached version of? What is it the attached version of? It is the attached version of antuma. And antuma is dual, and it can be both, because antuma, it can be both masculine and feminine. We can't tell which one it is. Next, qintaruhunna. Qintaruhunna. This is, I don't even have to explain this. Literally the original pronoun and the attached pronoun are same here, and you already know which one this is. So it's obviously hunna, and it's, what is hunna? They all, feminine. They all, feminine. Rasulihi, he. Rasulihi, he. He comes from huwa, and huwa is singular and masculine. Next, akhuhum. Hum. Where does hum come from? It comes from hum, and whom is 3, which is plural and masculine. And that's where we'll end our practice today. We had a lot of practice, and I hope it was good, and I hope you did your own stuff before coming and checking on me, because first you do your own stuff, then you check with me if it's correct. So I hope you did that, and I hope you got all the answers correct, and I hope you memorized the pronoun chart, because without the pronoun chart none of this you could do. So hopefully you memorize the pronoun chart, you know what pronouns are, and most importantly you know what attached pronouns are, and the Idhaafah concept which we just learned today, you know all that. And so with this we will complete the pronouns. We will end the pronoun chapter, and we'll end the Idhaafah chapter. With this we'll end the Idhaafah chapter. There's just the 2 types of Idhaafah. It can be like 2 words, or it can be 2 words merged into 1 word, like this one. Okay, so that's all. With this we end the Idhaafah concept. Next we'll move on to the second type of fragments, which you will know in the next video. So practice hard. You need practice. If you need some concept revision, go back to the basics, go back somewhere, learn it, and come, because everything is important. You should have literally no doubts. You should literally have no doubts at this stage. And because if this is getting a little bit doubt for you, then the future will get even more harder. So clear the doubts at this stage. Of course the comments are always there, you can ask me. So stay tuned for the next video. Goodbye, and I hope this was easy for you.